Welcome to One More Thing. I'm Pastor Brett Watson. I'm here with Dr. Troy Doucet, talking about this past Sunday, the power of practicing proper patience.
Yes.
That's a lot of P's, dude.
I love that thing, if you don't know.
Yeah, you do, yeah.
I love my little alliteration.
My nephews are visiting from New York.
Mm-hmm.
So
Got to meet them,
yeah. And they really enjoyed it, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Suncoast is a weird place. It's really unique. I mean that in the good sense.
Yeah.
And they're not, they don't go to church or anything, and they really enjoyed it.
Yeah, we had some good conversation with them, man. Just because, again, the way we sort of align things and frame things, or with a bit of,
alliteration.
A lot of alliteration, but the honesty, right? We try to present these principles as honestly as we can with what we know, and so.
And this is one that this is a topic that everybody can relate to, and we try to do that here anyway. But with everything we bring up, pretty much. But this topic of patience is I can tell you this. It was no problem having conversation, in class afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of it was around the identifying why we become impatient. And
Yeah.
and the internal combat, that takes place, or what the Muslims call the jihad.
The internal struggle.
Internal struggle, right?
Yeah. That's a very interesting point, man. That obviously we only have so much time to make, but you think of this notion, like people feel bad if they're not busy. Like, people feel worthless.
Yeah.
Useless.
Especially in our culture.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I think that lends itself to a type of impatience where we always feel we need to be moving or doing something, and we almost, if we're in traffic, as much as we hate traffic because of our proclivity to impatience, we feel, well, at least I'm in traffic. I'm on my way to do something.
Right. Yeah.
So in doing nothing, I'm doing something, so.
Yeah. And it's holding me up from doing my something.
Yeah, that's right. But
I'm on my way there. Yeah.
My impatience is justified.
Yeah. So why do you think Paul includes this? What is it about patience that seems so set apart as, that it should be labeled as a fruit of the Spirit?
Right. So we use the word patience, but again, I think our cultural sort of identification of patience is often seen as this waiting, praying, whatever. All good things, but the word should be translated as forbearance or long suffering, but those are very strange words to our ears.
Yeah.
No one likes to suffer long, right?
Yeah.
And forbearance, again, it's kind of a strange word. We don't use it very much in our nomenclature. So patience is the one that we kind of stick to in the translation. So when we're talking about why Paul would include it, if we're talking about the correct type of patience, then it absolutely is an essential manifestation of the Spirit within my life. And that was where I was trying to get to, is patience is not this inactive, passive, just contemplative part of me. It is this ongoing process that I am giving myself permission to be imperfect. And I'm going to be patient with myself as I grow and mature into the best version of me. But that also means I need to leave room for love for other people who are growing and becoming as well.
And that's just easier to do when you're self-aware enough to know that you need patience with yourself.
For sure, man. I was talking, because I always practice my sermons on my wife, right? Because she wasn't raised in church, dude, which for me is a beautiful thing. Like, because when I communicate to her, she's very honest. Like, that doesn't make sense to me, or I wouldn't use that, and so I'm able to sort of self-correct with her. And I didn't say it in the sermon, but one of the things I said kind of plainly, I said, look, the patience is not like relenting. right? It can be, but it's this fact that when I get in a fight with my spouse or whatever, like, and I used her as it's like, if we get in a fight and I have to step away for a moment, that type of patience is, I'm going to step out, I'm going to take a drive around the neighborhood, but I will never leave you. I will never leave you, right? We may be disagreeing at this moment, but rest assured, I will never leave you. Like, I am in this for the long haul. I will always choose you. Even though right now I'm choosing to just simply step away, I'm not choosing you. And dude, that was very powerful for both of us to hear, because that's the long suffering, right? That's the forbearance side, is to say, man, I have this family member or this employer, right? Like, we just don't get along, but man, I'm going to stick this out because I know that this is a great company. I know that Brett and I don't see eye to eye on whatever, but man, his friendship matters more to me than this opinion about politics or about theology. And that's what Paul is saying in patience, is leave room for love, because that is what wins. And so this is why, man, especially in an election year where people are so divided over certain things, you see the lack of, not the lack of attunement to whatever issue is at hand, but you see the lack of patience, like authentic patience. And it's hard to do when you see people like not wanting to grow or not wanting to say, dude, I was wrong, forgive me. And patience is not you coercing that situation to get an apology. Patience is really you subverting it and going, okay, that's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to be.
Yeah.
Knowing that your prayers are not show them, but your prayers are, let's be corrective in this. And eventually, man, in my experience, over time, people who truly want to grow, people who truly who value you will come back and apologize if they wronged you. And if you value that relationship, you truly will come back and go, hey, man, I'm sorry. I probably should not have said that. And that's all patience is leaving room for redemption. Like,
Leaving room for redemption.
That's
good.
why I said it at the end. I hate to be rambling, man, but
No,
when I said, if you take vengeance into your own hands, God will let you have it. And it's done. Once you erect some sort of response, God will not. I mean, that's biblical, that's theological, that's rational.
And consequential.
That's absolutely right.
But what's awesome is he is forbearing.
Oh, for sure.
So even when we take the reins on vengeance and screw up, he's still there. He's not going anywhere.
Absolutely.
Just like you said to Esther.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's at that moment, now his patience is not for the person who maybe even wronged us. His patience is now with us. Now, Troy has to recognize that he took vengeance into his own hands and may have overstepped the bounds. That's why, again, I said it in the sermon, this is why Jesus says, you've heard it said, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. You got to do away, because that's never worked. It's never been equal. We always one-up one another, dude.
Yeah, that was good.
Always.
Yep.
And so I say, turn the other cheek. And that's why I gave some of sort of that historical, cultural context to it. That's the subversive nature of Christ, is we think us saying love wins is this flower power. No, it's not, bro. It is this inner strength to go, all right. But again, if I send a little text message, backdoor text message, I said, Brett, what a jerk, blah, 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 blah. You know what he did, blah, blah, blah. He's a butthole, blah, 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 blah. Then you've taken vengeance, right? And now you need to apologize, right?
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah. It's interesting that you brought up the connection of commitment, right? Because that came up a lot, too, in class. Victor brought it up, in fact. And he said, I think that this has a lot to do with how committed am I to redeeming this relationship, you know? Really insightful group.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they saw that. And A lot of good conversation, man. This is a topic that touches deep with a lot of people.
Yeah. As long as, again, like that's why I said keyword practicing proper patience, right?
Yes, and that's important too. I know we only got a little time here, but here's the thing. One of the other things that came up was, and primarily because of me, I have struggled my entire life with people pleasing, right? And it comes off a lot of times as patience. But that's not proper patience.
No,
that's
because
it's not about being a doormat.
No,
it's not about that. So, in people pleasing, so the conversation went in all kinds of directions from there. But people pleasing ends up being a wrong kind of subversion.
Oh yeah.
And manipulation.
It's coercion
to
a certain point.
It exerts its own kind of control.
Yep.
So for the people pleasers out there, listen up.
Yeah, man.
That's not the same thing.
No.
But I appreciate you. Appreciate your teaching on this, and I know a lot of other people do too.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Thank you.